to buy a rental in the name of my LLC, but I just not really sure if that's possible. Absolutely it is. I'm just going to use a DSCR loan. I've never heard of a DSCR loan. You're going to kind of have to tell me about it, but the biggest thing you need to know is I'm self-employed and I have a good accountant, so I really don't show hardly any income at all. Okay, well, first of all, it doesn't matter that you're self-employed because with a DSCR loan, we don't look at any income verification. In fact, I'm not even going to ask you for taxes. Basically, easiest way to understand a DSCR loan, it stands for debt service coverage ratio. So what we're doing is we're counting that rent that you're collecting as the income for the property. We don't look at your income, and we're going to make sure that that income is going to be able to make that mortgage payment every single month, plus leave you with a little bit of extra in your pocket. Sounds too good to be true, but let's just play along for a little bit. With this DSCR loan, how much do you think that I could qualify for? It's not too good to be true. It's an actual real loan, and a lot of the best real estate investors out there know about these loans and use them all the time. As for what you can qualify for, it's different than your normal loan that you're used to. You don't pre-qualify for a certain amount because go back to what I said. We're not looking at your income. Instead, we're looking at the income of that property. So it's all going to depend on how much rent you will be collecting. Is that going to cover the mortgage? And then the other piece to consider is that for a DSCR loan, you do need a down payment of 20 to 25% in order to make those numbers work. However, one little secret, you can use other people's money for that down payment because we're private lenders. We go by different standards than the bank, so we don't look at that. So you can use borrowed money for that down payment as well. I'm just going to trust you. Everything you've said sounds pretty simple, but does this take a long time? Because I was talking to my banker and they said, usually 8 to 12 weeks. I'm looking to get this done a little bit faster. Absolutely, and that's why the biggest and best investors use DSCR loans is for speed. Typically, you're looking at about 30 days. Easiest thing to do to get started, again, not pre-qualifying based on your income, figure out what you have to work with for your down payment, and then let's go from there. If you need help getting a DSCR loan, or if you just want to understand it a little bit more and run those numbers, hop on over to my profile and schedule a real estate funding call with my team.